Hello, my name's Anglin, founder of TCK-Media Productions and professional video producer, for lack of a better term. And what you're watching right now is a video resume / cover letter video. In this video, I'm going to be telling you about myself, my experience in video production and broadcasting, and what skill sets and abilities I bring to the table that could take your business to the next level. So for starters, I've been working in video production and broadcasting for 12 years as of recording this video. My professional career started at New Mexico PBS KNME when I was hired as a student production technician while I was studying journalism at the University of New Mexico. While I was getting my diploma at UNM, KNME was my professional education. During my 3.5 years at KNME, I learned everything that goes into video broadcast production. Camera operation, audio engineering, technical directing, graphics building, editing, lighting, field production, interviewing, equipment management. If it was part of production, I did it and I became proficient in every aspect. By my last production at KNME, I received my first director's credit for a television broadcast. Now, as great as this learning experience was, I was still a broke college student and other employment was necessary. At one point, I was given the blessing from my managers at KNME to moonlight at the local ABC affiliate KOAT7 in Albuquerque on their live newscast crew. While this job played off the skills I already developed at KNME, what it really did was have me use those skills in a new context. Live video production is much faster paced, timing must be very tight, and mistakes are more costly than working on pre-recorded or edited shows. But that fast-paced environment let me learn more advanced techniques and instilled a hard work ethic while I worked 2 broadcast jobs while also being a full-time student. Speaking of my college experience, the fact that I was working in video production at the time, when digital media was really starting to come into its own, my path to my degree was a little unorthodox. A lot of people in the journalism program were looking to be writers, reporters, anchors, radio talent, but few wanted to be behind the scenes like I did. I became the video and tech person among my peers. If there was a video element that was supposed to be part of a project, I was the one that everybody came to for help, and a lot of my focus was going toward being a photojournalist. In my intermediate reporting class, we did a skills evaluation to pair people up with someone with complementary talents during election season, where we were assigned to cover a local race. I ended up getting paired with the editor-in-chief of the student newspaper, the Daily Lobo, to cover the New Mexico State Auditor's race. Pretty sure we were the only ones to get an A+ in that class. Having the best writer and best video guy on the same assignment feels like a cheat code. Regardless, I graduated from UNM with my degree in multimedia journalism with a minor in political science in 2016, at which point I was no longer eligible to stay at KNME as a student employee. But I stayed on at KOAT, and KNME did keep me on as a freelance producer to work any odd jobs they may have had. During this time, I also took the occasional freelance in photography or videography gig. Later that year, I would make a big move to the DC, Maryland, Virginia area and bring my talents to the East Coast. It was a big move and risk for me, but it gave me the opportunity to explore more of video production as it pertained to the digital space. My first full-time gig after I got to the area was at a cosmetic surgery center known as Austin Weston. At the time, Austin Weston was trying to have more of their marketing in-house, and the consulting company they were working with at the time wanted them to take on a content-based marketing approach. Part of what they wanted was a video professional in-house that could create video content that would be featured on YouTube. With the help of the consulting company, I learned a lot about content-based marketing, SEO, and optimizing content for YouTube. We were even seeing content start to pick up a lot of traction. After leaving Austin Weston, I ended up at Verizon Digital Media Services as a live events operator. What this job really entailed was quality control for live streams, primarily sporting events being broadcasted on digital platforms, the big one being ESPN. My responsibilities were to ensure the feeds were received and facilitate them being streamed on the correct platforms in the correct languages, inserting ad breaks, applying slates in case of technical difficulties, and making sure the streams were taken down once the event was over, and ensure the video on demand asset was published, all while documenting and reporting issues as they happened. Wasn't the most creative job, but I learned a lot about digital streaming pipelines, got to work on high-profile sporting events, and expanded my horizons once again within the digital content space. Eventually, I would find my way back to the production side of the industry when I got hired by KnifeCenter.com as a video producer. Knife Center is an online retailer selling, you guessed it, knives. Kitchen, hunting, tactical, if it's designed to cut something, that's what they sell. My role at Knife Center was primarily on the YouTube content side, and my previous experience in SEO, YouTube optimization, and content-based marketing ended up being just the right skills. I hit the ground running, writing scripts, shooting B-roll, recording voiceovers, editing it all together, and publishing it while keeping track of our analytics. Soon after I was hired, David C. Anderson was brought on as a product guy, and I immediately got him roped into the video content. Originally, we just wanted him to do voiceover, but he ended up becoming on-camera talent, my script editor, and eventually became the marketing manager. We had an excellent dynamic going. My knowledge and skill set for online video content, mixed with David's deep knowledge of products and the industry, ended up being a recipe for success. The YouTube channel saw exponential viewership and subscriber growth, and helped establish Knife Center as not just an online retailer, but an authority in the industry. On top of my video production responsibilities, I also filled in temporarily as product photographer and social media manager. Even though I left Knife Center in 2018, David and crew took the ball and ran with it, continuing to build the channel. I'd like to think I helped build the foundation, but I know I can't take all the credit. I still have a good relationship with Knife Center and will occasionally help in a freelance capacity when they do trade show coverage at Blade and SHOT Show. My next stint would take me back to the digital live streaming space when I got recruited over to Discovery as a digital analyst for their technology operations center. I was part of an international 24/7 team helping support their digital streaming platforms. I was responsible for triaging, tracking, and escalating issues within digital platforms, as well as sending out stakeholder communications about high-severity issues. Obviously very different from what I had previously done in the broadcasting space, but my experience on the content and broadcasting side ended up being what made me stand out in the role. When I started, I was primarily supporting the launch of Food Network Kitchen, which was their new platform whose selling point was giving subscribers access to live cooking classes featuring a lot of big-name chefs. My knowledge of content delivery pipelines expanded to include understanding the technical backends with AWS servers, CDNs, encoders, content management systems, and I would work closely with service and development teams in addressing issues. I would also help support the UK team in supporting Eurosport. As time went on, I would be included in the launch of Discovery's other digital platforms such as Discovery Plus, Magnolia Networks, and we would also end up supporting legacy platforms like MotorTrend. I also participated in first-line support for both the Tokyo and Beijing Olympics for the international markets. The job was not without its challenges. I would often joke that every time I started my shift, I would have a completely different job and things were constantly changing. However, I did eventually get promoted to a senior role on the team and was charged with managing the team through all incident management scenarios. I even designed the new hire training for incident management. Then, of course, the Warner Brothers merger came, and with giant corporate mergers comes layoffs, and I ended up getting swept up in that. My next gig would be with ECU Communications as their video specialist. ECU is a marketing agency that primarily works on federal contracts with clients including the Department of Homeland Security, the Small Business Administration, and even some local government agencies like Prince William Water, formerly known as Prince William Service Authority. Essentially, I was brought on to bring video production in-house for ECU. It was a great opportunity to once again build a video production department from the ground up. In this role, I did have to learn a lot of new skills, and it was the first time I worked more with stock assets as opposed to creating original footage and images. Though there were times that we did shoot original content, like filming in Los Angeles for E-Verify, producing commercials in Houston for Small Business Administration, and shooting photos for Prince William Water's rebranding. Like any other gig, there are challenges. In the case of ECU, it was pace, but not in the way that I've been used to. In a lot of my other jobs, production and digital content ends up being very fast-paced and constantly moving, but in the case of ECU, everything was so slow. This was primarily because their client base was government agencies, and as a result, they are bogged down by bureaucracy and red tape, resulting in lengthy, drawn-out approval processes. Which leads us here today, and now I'm once again looking for work. Having full-time steady employment is of course ideal, and I'm still open for new opportunities. But I have started my own production company under TCK-Media Productions, LLC, and I'm currently have all the equipment, the knowledge, and skill set to be able to produce digital content at any scale. I have experience in shooting content for online retail, live stage events, real estate, sports, weddings, fashion, trade shows and convention coverage. I produce podcasts both in studio and remotely, and have even done the occasional headshot. I have the capabilities and resources to do it all. And TCK Media Productions is going to give me the opportunity to figure out what kind of content I want to make. It's very much in the experimental phase, but I'm looking forward to the opportunity to make content that is mine and matches my sensibilities. So, whether you're looking for someone with my expertise and capabilities to bring on full time, or you're looking for a reliable freelancer for your video project, I'd love to hear from you. I'll include a link to my website, tck-media.com, where you can see my portfolio and you can visit my contact page for any queries. I'd love to help you realize your vision. Thank you.